Good morning, all. This is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Tuesday, the 26th of May. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing, learn from it, transfer it to your own charts, and I'm not here to shoot trading signals. This is a video for paying subscribers at chartingthemarkets.substack.com. It's published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. All right, great. Well, it's been a busy weekend. I don't know if you watched my bigger picture webinar from last night, but basically I was talking about the peace process over the weekend. On Friday, the US was definitely going to attack Iran over the weekend, and then on Saturday a deal was 95% done. Then that deal was leaked and there was a lot of pushback against it, and then I think Trump tacoed on the deal and started adding conditions and so on, which weren't going to be acceptable to the Iranians. And then the deal was falling apart. And then there was this odd thing yesterday where the US started bombing Iran in self-defense, or so they said. So at the moment, the ceasefire appears to be off, but actually, nonetheless, quite a lot of the equity gains for the weekend and the oil losses have, I think, so far have survived. And the let's just have a quick look at my quickest meter for the for sentiment on terms of the peace deal is on Premarket. So let's have a quick look at that, where that was looking okay. That's boosted a little while. I mean, basically, this was about 25% on Friday. And then it got up as far as 57 or 60%, as up here at the weekend. 59%. And then basically it has been, if this was a price, I'd be suggesting this might be a bull flag, but who knows. So at the moment, there's people are talking about a 44% chance straightforward news traffic returns to normal by the end of June. So they've not given up on the peace process yet, but I got to say, there doesn't seem an awful lot to be optimistic about. We shall see. And certainly, bombing in self-defense, while an interesting concept, I think struggles in practice. Anyway, what I would like to see here, which is what I was talking about last night, is that the head and shoulders are now unviable on the RTH charts. Really, I want to see some high retests. So I was a bit concerned that due to the complete whatever was happening in the peace process, then we might actually give back all gains. We haven't done that, so I'm expecting to see some new all-time highs in RTH. We don't need to retest the highs that were made in the extended hours, but we could do that too, but mainly it's the RTH retest that I'm looking at. ES looks pretty likely to do that, and I think we're more or less at that level already. NQ, the same. RTY, the same. YM had already retested the high and has gone a bit higher. This is not a double top setup at the moment. Looking at DAX. DAX has gone higher, wondering about a possible high retest here too, and ESTX I think has already made one, and Nikkei has already made one and has gone beyond what I'd be looking for on a double top. We have got a weak 6-minute sell signal fixed on Nikkei. In terms of the other sell signals, we don't have one on ES. We don't have one on NQ. We do have a full 60-minute sell signal fixed on RTY. We've got a 60-minute sell signal fixed after the first one failed on YM. We don't have one on DAX there, one fixed and failed, and we never had one on ESTX. All right, let's have a look at those on the bigger picture charts. Okay, now looking at the, I don't think there's not an awful lot to say on the daily charts, apart from there's still an RSI 5 sell signal fixed and in no particular danger of failing on the SPX chart. We've got the same daily RSI 5 sell signal fixed on the QQQ chart, and as soon as we retest this high, which I think we actually did that on QQQ on Friday, then we've got a possible RSI 14 sell signal brewing on here as well. So we would also, on a retest the high on SPX, which I'm expecting today, get a possible RSI 14 sell signal brewing here. I don't take these as seriously as I take the RSI 5 ones, but it's certainly something I'd be keeping an eye on. In terms of the charts here, I think we've gone beyond the stage where the head and shoulders would be credible here. So I want to see that high retest at 75.17. We came within 6 handles of doing that at the high on Friday, and we're up currently. It's a gap up 50 points, so I'm expecting to do that quite comfortably. In terms of the Qs, we made that retest on Friday. In terms of Dia, we actually went higher and we took out the all-time high. I did keep mentioning this as something that looked like unfinished business. It is no longer unfinished business. We've now got a beautiful large double top here, but in the short term, that we don't really have a topping pattern. Watching that with interest, but I dare say something will develop. We've got a load of RSI 14 sell signals fixed on the 15-minute charts, but I think they'll all get completely run over by the news and the open. In terms of the IWM chart, we are pretty close to a retest of the high. We've done it. We've done the new all-time high on RTY already, and I'm expecting to see that here as well. That will set up a nice-looking little double top here, basically from the move up at the end of March. This has actually been the most bearish-looking chart. In terms of the 15-minute chart, well, you can see. Was this a bear flag in the end? No, I don't think I'd count it as one, really. So I think this is a head and shoulders, which started the right shoulder and then just never stopped. You get that sometimes. In terms of DAX, wondering about a possible retest of the all-time high, you can see we are not far away. And Nikkei has, of course, already done it. All right, great. Let's have a look at DX. Now, oil has been making some gains overnight, but it closed the week last week at about 96.5, I think. We're now at 92.5, and we were as low as 89.5. Well, unless we actually get some real good news on the peace and negotiation front, then well, I'm kind of expecting this to go head back over 100. So we will see how that goes. Sorry, that's on oil, but DX, of course, while that happened, would tend to go up as well. This could be a double top, but I'm treating it at the moment as a bullish consolidation. In terms of the other currencies, not a lot to see here really on Euro or GBP. On USD/JPY, I think this is bullish consolidation before we head up and retest this high here. On USD CAD, we've got an IHS target up here in the 1.387 area. I'm not seeing anything to suggest we won't make that target. If the dollar is going to go up, then this is a possible head and shoulders forming on Australian dollar, and this is a possible head and shoulders forming also on NZ. All right, looking at ZB, we've been rallying a bit, obviously, on all this peace stuff. Bigger picture, the targets are firmly down. If reality starts catching up to the market, which it really doesn't seem to have done so far, although we don't know what's happening behind the scenes, and certainly there are some very well-informed traders over the course of this war so far. I mean, it may be that the talks are still limping on, or that something positive has happened, but really, we should have given much of the weekend gains back by now, and we haven't, which is great because we can do my retests. But after that, I'm uncertain as to what's going to happen here. I'm not seeing an awful lot to be cheerful about. We will see. So ZB leaning towards the downside. ZN, this kind of looks like a bear flag anyway. Hasn't broken down yet, but I'm expecting this to go back and retest the lows as well. All right, CL. Got a possible trend line target here, although it's not something that really needs to be hit. Week 6-minute buy signal fixed on CL. Possible flag here. I'll be looking more at this, but I wasn't seeing anything really that obvious. No. We will see how that goes, but I think one way or another, this is like to be a bullish consolidation. At the moment, unless we see some actual good news, there's no particular reason for this to have gone down as far as it has, or indeed to go down any further. We are finding resistance at the monthly pivot so far, and that is at 93.38. In terms of HO, looks like a bullish consolidation. RBOB looks like a bullish consolidation. NG, we had a buy signal here. Sorry, I've been losing some of my out of hours data here, which is making some of the charts look a little odd. But we've basically made target on that, and we're testing the weekly pivot as resistance. Not seeing an awful lot giving direction here. Not seeing much particularly that is giving an upward direction here. We do have a head and shoulders. It's broken up with a target in the 3.46 area. This looks better than it did on the previous chart, having rolled this into July. But that head and shoulders has not failed. We need to get below 2.95 for that to fail. So we've still got a target up in the 3.86 area. Just not looking hugely promising to get there. GC, this looks like a little bear flag forming. Looking at SI, looks like a little bear flag forming. Palladium looks like very possibly a little bear flag forming, and platinum looks like a little bear flag forming. If oil's going to go back up, then at the moment, the correlation would suggest that gold's going to go down and the other precious metals will go down. And we do still have an open double top target, which is in the 43.30 to 43.60 area. And I'm wondering if we're going to be heading off there next. We shall see. If we do make the extended target there, no, if we make either target there, I think, then we will fail as IHS and set up a potential retest target down the 41. 10 area. All right, great. Let's have a look at the other commodities. And actually, let's have a look at copper first. Copper, this looks like a bear flag, and probably it is. A weak 6-minute sell signal is fixed. On KC, looks like a little bear flag forming. It's got a nice looking potential double bottom here. Not seeing an awful lot of indication it's going to break up so far. SB, we had a nice looking triangle. This may be expanding into a flag, in which case I'd be looking for a low below this high here. Below this low here at about the 14.35 area. On CC, we've got little break up here. I'm wondering about this head and shoulders with a target in the 3,500 area and whether that is in the process of failing, but we're a long way from failing so far. This is a little double bottom. I haven't marked it in, but the target would be at about the 42.50 area. On CT, looks like a bull flag which is trying to break up. Lumber, just going sideways. I suspect equities start going down seriously, in which case we'll likely resume the overall downtrend. ZW, I think this is a bullish consolidation. I think the same on corn. I think the same on soy. These are obviously all been affected by urea shortages, which has basically tripled the price of the fertilizer that is made from that urea, and that fertilizer is used a lot in making cotton, wheat, corn, and soy. So I'm expecting to see more upside. ZL looks like a little bull flag forming. Live cattle, I am wondering about a possible head and shoulders forming here. Although if we broke down directly, this would actually work pretty well as a asymmetric double top. This is more bearish than I was expecting. I'm wondering about a further breakdown. On HE, we made a lower low. This is definitely not a bull flag from the high. And I'm not seeing anything compelling saying there's a low here. We do have a tiny little level bottom here and a 60-minute buy signal, and I'm leaning towards seeing a rally. I think the target for that would probably only be at about the 101.875 area, so it's not a big move. All right, great. In that case, I think it's a wrap. There are no questions. Everyone take care, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right, cheers.